It's time, it's time, it's time. Today is February the 1st, 2026, and it is 11:35 a.m. The golden lessons from Nigel Benn, the Dark Destroyer. And as you can see in the thumbnail, we have one of my favorite boxing matches of all time. Nigel, the Dark Destroyer Benn versus Gerald, the G-Man McCullen for the super middleweight championship of the world in the early 1990s. And I'm going to just say this. Nigel Benn's autobiography that I finished last night, it really brought some things into perspective for my own personal life. And the main thing that was brought into perspective was that anybody can change. It doesn't matter where you are in your life, anybody can change. You can change for the better, or you can change for the worse. The choice is yours. But here are my golden lessons from Nigel Benn's autobiography, The Dark Destroyer. Number one, don't run from your trauma. We've all gone through traumatic experiences in our life, but running from it, putting it in the closet, burying it, it's not going to help you. It's only going to hurt you. Nigel Benn lost his brother, and I'm giving a spoiler. He lost his brother at 8 years old. He never dealt with that pain. He never dealt with those emotions. He never brought those things to the surface. So he walked around with a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. Started getting into trouble. Then he went in the military, and that's when he first started boxing. But before that, he was a natural fighter. He wasn't the guy that you could just say anything to, or even look at a certain way, or even look at his girlfriend a certain way. Okay? But all that was from the anger, the emotions that he never brought to the surface. And I'm going to say this, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but it's necessary. Okay? So face your trauma today. Face your trauma today. Face your trauma today. And take it one step at a time. Divide it and conquer it. Piece by piece. And put all the pieces together and you'll have one whole. Golden lesson number 2. And I did a short on this. Be second to no one. Whatever you do in life, be the best. Have a standard for yourself. Hold yourself accountable to be the best that you can be in your life. Don't settle for what somebody else may want for you. Don't settle for the place that they have for you in their life. Have your standard. Know what you want and stand on what you want. Because there's only one place in life. First place. You only got one shot. You only got one life. There is no do-overs. Golden lesson number 3. Thrive on fear. Thrive on adversity. Because anything that's easy in life, it's not worth it. If it's hard, if it's difficult, if it's challenging, if you got to get it out the mud, if you got to climb the mountain, it's worth it. Because the destination is only the end point. It's the process that got you to the destination that matters. Nigel Benn, he had a clear path in his life to become world champion. He knew that that wasn't going to be easy, but he was able to do it. Okay? And at the time, British boxing wasn't big. So him becoming a British boxer, okay, wasn't going to be easy. And him crossing over into becoming a champion in the United States wasn't going to be easy. Okay. And Nigel Benn always had the mindset to be the best. He never wanted to be the next Ali, the next Marvin Hagler, the next Tyson. He wanted to be the next Nigel Benn. So that's very important. Be second to no one. Hold yourself to a standard. The next one. Have a clear path for your life. And I just briefly talked about this. Anything you want to accomplish, let it be clear. No fog, no smoke. Let it be clear. Once you know what you want to accomplish, there's no confusion. Okay? Is it going to be easy? No. But once it's clear, you walk the path. Okay? Things may pull you from the left. Things may pull you from the right. But you stay on the path. Nigel Benn's path was to become world champion. He had to become the British champion first. But the path was to become world champion. He couldn't skip steps. And he fought everybody. He didn't duck nobody. And all his losses were worthy opponents. Michael Watson, Chris Eubank, Steve Collins. Okay. They all were worthy opponents. I would rather lose to someone that's a worthy opponent than to be undefeated fighting bums. At least the person was good competition. Okay? And the final golden lesson that I learned from Nigel Benn was only you know what's best for you. I'm not talking about children. I'm not talking about teenagers. I'm talking about adults. Once you turn 18, you know what's best for you. Your parents don't know what's best for you. Okay? Your teachers don't know what's best for you. You know what's best for you. And Nigel Benn, he always made decisions in the best interest of himself. Yes, it's selfish, but you got to look out for you. And the only person that's going to really look out for you is you. Okay? Nobody knows what's best for you but you, because nobody is with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but you. Okay? And if I was to get a bonus, it's also based off of the short I did on Nigel Benn. I will get up. I will go out on my shield. Okay? You fall, you get up. You fight till you can't fight no more. And you can tell a lot about a man from his eyes. You look a man in his eyes when you stand your ground. You look a man in his eyes when you shake his hand. You look a man in his eyes when you communicate. Because the eyes tell everything. So these are the golden lessons that I learned from Nigel Benn documentary. Nigel Benn's autobiography, correction, The Dark Destroyer. And I'm going to give a super bonus of a golden lesson, transformation. Nigel Benn was able to transform his life to become a servant of God as a Christian. And you would have never thought as you read this autobiography that the man that was known as the Dark Destroyer will become a devoted Christian family man. He came from a good mother and a good father, but he got caught up in the wrong crowd, and the military saved him. And that's when he started fighting in the military. He was undefeated in the military. Couldn't find work after the military and went professional. And one of the things that stood out to me about Nigel Benn was his whole bad boy persona was fake. And he said this, all he wanted was somebody to put their arm around him and tell him everything was going to be all right. He never had that. Nobody never told him that. And like I said earlier, all the anger and the frustration, he was able to put that into his boxing. Why you think he had such a high knockout rating? Okay? But at least he was able to channel that into something positive instead of something negative. So learn from these golden lessons from Nigel Benn, who was the rival of the previous golden lessons that I did weeks ago on Chris Eubanks. Enjoy your day, enjoy your week, and always remember, life is a game of chess, and every move counts. Know the board, know the pieces, win the game.